Hey everyone, it's Mona here at Craft Klatch. Today we are going to do a snowman recycling craft. We're going to use up some of those old water bottles. For this craft you're going to need some water bottles, and I've washed them out. They haven't quite dried, but you just pull the label right off. And if there's a little bit of the label left on there, don't worry about that either. Then I'll take my scissors and cut the bottom off of the water bottle. I'm going to be making two of these, so I'll make one shorter and one taller. There we go, we have a little bit of variation. I'm using a multi-surface paint because it will adhere to plastic. I'm watering it down so it's not like a solid color. And if you feel like maybe you have a little too much on some places, just take a rag and lightly dab it just to take some off. And then we're going to set it off to dry. I have these wooden balls, and you can get them in whatever size you want. And I'm just going to paint them with the same color that we did the bottle. And you could do one or two coats just depending on the look that you're going for. The next part of the snowman, we want to glitter him. I have this whitish clearish glitter. I'm going to pour a bunch into just this tray. And I'm going to add a little bit of, and this is a chunky glitter, and then I'm going to add a little bit of silver fine glitter. And you don't have to mix the glitters if you don't want to. And I'm going to pour some Mod Podge, and this is a super gloss Mod Podge. I'm pouring it into another container, and the reason I'm doing that is so that you don't dip your brush that has glitter on it back into your other Mod Podge container, because that could become a problem later. And I'm going to put the Mod Podge all over the head of the snowman and the body of the snowman, and you can dip it or you can drop it on there. Either way, it works. You just want to make sure you get glitter all over it. And because we cut the bottoms off, it's easy to just slide your hand under there. And once you have it covered, just set it aside and let it completely dry. And then if you find that maybe you missed a spot or two, then go ahead and touch it up and add a little bit more then as well. We've come this far with our snowman votives, and now we can take it even further. Because it's a recycling craft, I want to stay with that theme. So I was thinking if we took a little bit of tin foil, and maybe you have little scraps laying around, tear some off, crumple it up, and shape it into a carrot. And it can be as big or as little as you want. And you could give it a crooked nose, you could do whatever you want, but this is going to be the nose for our snowman. And we also want to take a little bit of foil to make the eyes. And those are just little charcoal squares. If you can get them somewhat even, that'd be great. And then you also want to make little charcoal briquettes for the mouth. Now all we need to do is paint these. And I'm just using the multi-surface paint, and probably regular acrylic paint will work just as well. And I'll tell you what I do like about the foil also is that it gives it some texture. To make life a little easier, you could put these noses on the end of a skewer stick or a toothpick, and it will make painting that much easier. And then you just need to put them aside to dry. And now I'm going to just paint the little charcoal mouth and eye pieces black. We can start to put our snowmen together. I'm going to use a little hot glue, put it on the rim of the bottle and the head. Then we have our foil features, and we can add them as well. So this is what we have so far. Now we can add hats, which is super easy. All we're going to use is some felt. And we're just going to create a circle of felt. Just like this. And that'll be the brim of the hat. Then I'm going to cut a corner here, and that's going to allow it to sit flatter on the head. Okay, then we just take a band here, just like this. We'll glue the ends together. And then just glue it right over that hole that you created. And there's your hat. And then you want to add some glue to the bottom. Plop it on his head, and then you can adjust it as you need. And now you have a snowman with a hat. I'll cut a band of red felt. You could go green, you could go any color you want. And then I'm going to fringe the ends. Now you just want to put it around, and you don't have to tie it, you just need to overlap it. Put a dot of glue there. Pull it over, and now you have a scarf on your snowman. So he's starting to come together a little bit. And then you can embellish any way you want. I'm just going to take some of these beads that I have and glue them on. You could, if you have berries, fake berries, you can put them on. And whatever you do, don't underestimate the use of glitter. Even though their bodies are entirely glitter, it doesn't mean you can't add some to their hats and their scarves just a little bit. We're going to keep this pretty easy. We're just going to use some chunky glitter and our hot glue gun. And I'm just going to go along the edges. You can go a little bit at a time. But it's just to keep with the whole frosty look that we got going. Our snowmen are finished. I added a couple of foil buttons and their scarves, and they're all frosty and glittery and look like they were caught out in a blizzard. They stand on their own. And the nice thing is that if you get these little votive candles and they're battery operated, do not put a real one under there. You can put it under and it will still shine through. And you can't see it right now, but I have a picture of it and you'll be able to see how it does actually shine through. That's why you don't want the paint to be too thick, but you do want some on there to give it a little bit of a frosted look. And you can get the flickering ones too. So I hope you like it, and I hope you give it a try, and it saves a couple bottles from being put into the landfill, and they're kind of fun just to have around the house, and inexpensive, very inexpensive, and you can have like a whole army of plastic bottle snowmen. I hope you like the snowman recycling craft, and I hope you give it a try. I will definitely see you next time. Remember, life is too short not to shimmer, so grab your glue gun and your glitter. Stay safe. Bye, guys.